All right, guys, so we're going to do a quick tutorial on how to place the holes for the screws for your skateboard wheels and how to make sure that they're in the right spot and that they are symmetrical so that the skateboard is going to roll the way that it should, and also so that they are placed in the right spot. So if this is my skateboard outline, the first thing I want to make sure to do is I want this to be centered on my board here. The best way to do that is to make sure it's highlighted. And remember, you can highlight by clicking on it, or you can also drag to the left. Once you have that done, you hit the Align Selected Objects tool. And what we want to do is we want to center my oval, the outline of my board, on my wood here. So I'm just going to align it to the material. So that's going to be the one in the center, and it clicks it right into the middle there, and we're good to go. Now, what we want to do is we want to have 4 holes here, and we want them to make sure that they're in the right spot. So my suggestion is to measure from center to center on the base for the wheels for the skateboard, so that you know the X distance and you know the Y distance. Once you know that, the easiest way I have found is to make a square. Actually, we're going to make a rectangle. And let's just say, now this is going to be different on yours, so please don't use 2 and 1.5 on yours unless it has actually 2 and 1.5. It's going to be different on yours. But let's just say that the distance in the X direction between the 2 holes on the base of the wheels is 2 inches. And in the Y direction, up and down, it's 1.5 inches. What we're going to do is we're going to make a rectangle that size. So it's going to look like that. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to move it where I want it. Now, where are we going to put it? Well, where it goes this way in the X direction, that's really kind of up to you. You're going to have to figure that out a little bit. But as far as in the Y direction, we need to make sure that it's right in the middle of this board. Obviously, you wouldn't want to attach your skateboard wheels with the middle of the wheels there. So how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to use the Align tool again. And here's how it works. We select the rectangle that we made, and then we're going to hold down Shift and select the board. So now we have 2 things selected. And now instead of aligning it to the material, we can align it to the selection. And so here's my selection. I'm going to align it up and down, just up and down to the selection, because I don't want it to move this way. Just up and down on the selection, and we're going to go there. And now we know that that rectangle is aligned right in the center of my board. All right, well, now what we need to do is we need to figure out the holes. So now we're going to make a circle, and this is already set up for me here, but the circle itself, we're going to use the diameter as 0.25. That'll be plenty enough room for my screw. You might want to double check your screws, but the screws that we're using in our class, 0.25, that's just actually the diameter of the drill bit we're using itself, so it works out nicely. We're going to have our diameter at 0.25, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make a circle on the corner of every one of these, on each corner of the rectangle, and that's going to be where we want our circles. Because we know we measured from center to center for it to be this distance and this distance from center to center, we can make the circles and we'll be confident that they're in the right spot. And the way this works, look how easy this is. If I just hover over here, it's asking where I want to make the circle, and when it clicks in the corner, I click and I have my circle that was made there. And then I go down to this corner and I click here, I go down to this corner and I click there, and I go down to this corner and I click there. And now I hit apply and close, and now I have my 4 circles in the right spot. Now I don't need this rectangle anymore, so I'm just going to delete it, and now we're good to go. We have our 4 circles ready to be drilled out and in the right spot. If you would like to check to make sure that they're the right distance apart, this is our measuring tool. So if you zoom in, click on the measuring tool, you can see how it's going to measure from center of that circle, the center of that circle, and you can see right here it says, let's get it back there, You can see right there it says 1.5 inches. And then if I measure from center of that one to that one, it should be 2 inches, and it is. From that one to that one, it should be 1.5, and it is. And from that one to that one, it should be, let's do it right here. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. Let's start over here. And from the center of this one to this one, it should be 2 inches as well, which it is. So now I know I have those spaced out the right way. All right, 2 more things. How are we going to get them to the, how are we going to get the dots on the back? Well, we don't have to do this again. Since we know that this is centered here, we can highlight all of those. And I can use my mirror selected objects. I'm going to create a mirrored copy, meaning I'm going to have 4 more circles. And I want to flip it around the horizontal. Since I know that this is in the center, if I flip it on the horizontal, it's going to make those 4 circles right there in the back. And now they're good to go. The last thing, I need to assign my tool paths. So I'm going to select all of those. I am going to use the drilling tool path. The start depth is 0. The cut depth is not going to be 0.27. We're going to go a little bit deeper than the board. So we're going to go 0.77. So if your board was 0.75, you could set that at 0.77. If your board was 0.725, you can set that at 0.745, just a little bit deeper. We're going to use a 1/4 inch down cut, and we are going to use peck drilling. I'm going to have to calculate it. I would say OK. And now if I reset my preview and preview all toolpaths, you can see that it's going to make my holes for me. There you go. Good luck with your design.